Hi everyone. This week's video isn't going to be what I had planned. Initially, I was going to take some time this week to update you on what's in the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, and the appropriations bills because we just finished marking them up. However, because of the heartbreaking events yesterday in Utah, those updates can wait until next week. Instead, I want to talk directly to Utahns, not about politics or policy, but about people. I'm sure all of you already know about the targeted assassination of Charlie Kirk yesterday at UVU. None of us expected anything like this to happen in Utah. This senseless act of violence has shaken all of us Utahns, but it's also left a family without a husband and a father. And my heart is with his wife and their young children who are now facing something that no family should ever have to face. I also just can't stop thinking about all the students at UVU and everyone else impacted by this violence. Charlie Kirk's strength was engaging young people and getting them to be involved in politics, and we need more college students involved in politics. And now we have a lot of young people in Utah who might be afraid. They might be scared to go out and talk about their political views because of this tragedy. And so I want to talk directly to our teenagers and our young adults in Utah right now. Yesterday's events kind of reminded me of when I was in college. It was a very different situation, but I was in college on 9/11, and I'm filming this Thursday. It's the 24th anniversary of 9/11. But I always say my generation lost our innocence that day. And I remember how shocking and upsetting it was on 9/11. And then in the days that followed, none of us were quite sure how to react. But in the weeks and months and years that followed, so many of my peers signed up to serve in the military, and they put themselves in harm's way to defend our country from just that kind of attack. And they decided to dedicate their lives to defending the freedoms we hold dear. And reflecting on 9/11 and with these tragic things happening this week, I can't help but see a connection to today's students. Just as my generation stepped up in the face of tragedy, I hope that our teenagers and young adults now who are facing their own challenges, the students who are at UVU and across the nation, people who showed up yesterday, are displaying courage right now. I want them to have the same determination. Please have the same commitment to our shared values moving forward, even when the world looks frightening and uncertain, even when politics seem like they're hateful and vitriolic. To those of you who are now scared to speak out or scared to be at big political events, we need your voices. Your voices matter. That's what Charlie Kirk has done with his life. He's invited people your age to come be part of this because we need you. We need you now more than ever. Please recommit to something that's always been at the heart of our nation, and that's civil discourse. America was built on the idea that we can disagree without dehumanizing each other, that we can have passionate debate without resorting to violence. We can criticize our government. We can stand in the public square and tell each other we think we're wrong without it turning to violence. Sadly, the shooting in Utah of Charlie Kirk wasn't the only tragedy this week. In just this past week, we've seen a school shooting in Colorado and the unfortunate stabbing of Irina Zarutska on a train in North Carolina. These violent incidents impacted different families in different states, but they're all a painful reminder of how quickly hate and radicalization can take lives and shatter communities. And as Utahns, we know this isn't who we are. Our state has always been defined by being good neighbors, by helping each other, by being family-oriented, and leaning on our communities and one another. This is a chance for us to show the whole world that that's really who we are. We have the eyes of the world on us right now, and I hope that we can see our communities rally together. I hope and pray for the law enforcement who's out trying to make sure that justice is served. At least at the time I'm filming this, we don't know who did it. He hasn't been arrested. The FBI is still looking for him, and the eyes of the world are on Utah. So as everyone's looking at us, let's lead by example. Let's choose compassion over anger and community over division. And while we call for justice, let's make sure that we are not pulling inward and hiding. Healing doesn't come from shutting people out or refusing to engage with others. Healing is going to come from reaching out to others. It's going to come from getting out in the communities, showing up for each other. It's time to double down on what truly makes America strong, and that's our commitment to one another, our commitment to our shared values, and our ability to be engaged in civic life. In less than a year, we are going to mark the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. That milestone is a chance to reflect on what kind of a nation we are and what kind of a nation we want to be. So let's honor those we've lost. On 9/11, yesterday in Utah, or by any act of violence, by being involved, by showing up for each other, by disagreeing without getting violent, and so we can hand the next generation a safer, stronger, and even more united United States than the one we inherited, and keep getting better. Thank you.